Hello everybody, and welcome back to another video with Ruby. So today we have a big old chunk of steak that we will be cooking. We're not going to cook all of this, obviously. This is supposed to last me at least the whole week. And then we're going to pair this with this. This I'm not going to cook. Oh, fuck. I'm going to cook this. I'm not going to cook it today simply because I don't know how to cook it. But this is boneless leg of lamb. We're gonna hold off on that, and hopefully once we get a good recipe we'll go ahead and cook that. But without further ado, let's go ahead and cut this meat a little bit, separate it, part it out, and then throw what I do want to eat on the pan. So the specific cut for this meat, it's a beef round eye roast because I do it on a pan, and if I got there was a good tenderloin, but that's more for pot roast. But yeah, this is very pretty pink meat.
Pause.
Pause? Pause what?
You said something gay, so you gotta say no homo.
So we're gonna go ahead and cut this up into 3-ish pieces for the week. So here is one piece of meat.
The One Piece! The One Piece is real!
Go ahead and cut this piece over here. And here we go. We have our 3 pieces of meat. So we really only need one. This is going to be for 2 days. Cut it in half, and I'll eat half today, half tomorrow. But we're going to go ahead and cut this, prep it, put some seasoning on there, and then slap it on the grill. Thinking we're going to go ahead and chop it right here. Save the fat for another day. Perfect. So here's our cut of meat for today. And I like to eat this in a very specific way. I like to cut it and not to like too thin, not too thick slices. And essentially I cut it into pieces, but pieces that are a little thicker, if that makes sense. Hope and pray I don't cut myself on accident once again. Perfect. We have our 3 pieces of meat, and then right here, we're just gonna go ahead and 1, 2, 3. So we got our nice little 4 squares on there. Do the same thing with this one. Perfect. All right, perfect. So we have 12 pieces of meat right here. We're gonna go ahead and set this aside and work on the seasoning we'll be putting on top. So for the seasoning, I pretty much have an idea of what I want. I have these 3 right here. I have some paprika, lemon pepper, and some, don't recommend you do this, but I have a slap your mama sauce.
Tastes so good, make you want to slap your mama. Don't it, Willie?
Yeah, boy. Hey, mama.
What the hell you want with?
Which I probably use it 40% of the time, which is, it's a lot. It's a small percentage, but it's a lot. So I'll throw some in there, a nice little amount. I don't know why this is on here still, but we're gonna go ahead and just.
I do. Who's your daddy?
Yeah, that works. All right, go ahead and sprinkle some of that in there. And then, of course, this wouldn't be complete without some paprika for some spiciness. I'm almost out. I need to get some more paprika. That's sad. Yeah, I'm totally out of paprika. Okay. Let's check our inventory. So, turns out I don't have another paprika, so we're just gonna go ahead and throw some black pepper on here. Might have been a little too much. All right, that looks pretty good. So we're gonna go ahead and grab our meat now.
You're gay! He's gay!
Here's our seasoning. Actually, I'd rather just use my fingers, makes it easier.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Go ahead and sprinkle it on there. This might have just been the perfect amount, to be honest. Go ahead and flip all the pieces over. Get a nice little even coat of seasoning. Yeah.
I always spank my dough. Who's your daddy?
Pretty much used all of it. So now that we have everything perfectly seasoned, we're gonna go ahead and slap some olive oil on the. So now that we have everything perfectly seasoned, we're gonna go ahead and slap some avocado oil on the pan. So here is my very nice pan. I've already had the meat. I've already had the burner on 6, so we're gonna kind of lower it to 2. This is a new one I got actually just today, so that's fun. Yep, there we go. Might have lost a cap, but that's fine. That's fine. All right, so this right here has to be my favorite part. Hearing all of the perfectly raw meat sizzle on the pan. All right, y'all ready for this?
Nice.
So with the same spoon that I used for the seasoning, I'll go ahead and put some olive oil on there and just sprinkle it over top. Get on that one. Kind of missed a couple. It's okay though. Should help it not stick to the pan as much. And now we're gonna let this cook for a good while, so let's go ahead and fast forward to when this is all the way done to cooking. And of course, we're not just going to eat the steak by itself. We're going to go ahead and throw some other sides, but that's a little surprise that I'll show later in the video. Alright, so here is the finished product. Let's go ahead and cut this open and see what's inside. You know, my personal opinion, I think that looks just lovely. So here's the rest of it. I went ahead and added some cheese and sausage. Alright, well, let's go ahead and taste it. And yep, just as expected, it tasted just as good as it looks. So I'll catch you on the next one. Thank you for watching.